Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
All right, we'll do a speed update on the business that we close out the month. Not the profit and loss, but the revenue side of things. And then something I've been learning from listening to an audiobook. So we'll get things rolling. Talking business today. So we finished out the month, and we had the second highest revenue month in club history. I can't believe it. A year ago, the seller, who's a great promoter. I mean, he's a really good promoter. He's definitely like that little Richard Branson. Very fun, very upbeat, very lively, engaging, exciting person. Someone that you really wish was your best friend. He did an amazing job last year at the Black Friday sale, the end of year sales, and he crushed it. He had a really good end of year sale. And I did something kind of similar this year. I replicated what he did last year, except I did it with a little more of a digital emphasis. He did it a lot with doing organic posts, reaching out to current members that are in person. And I wanted to do almost like a ClickFunnels, go high level, follow-up system with folks that are already in our system. So very much like we've got our email list. Let's go hit the email list kind of thing. I'm guessing that's what he did last year. I don't know for sure, but we beat last year's Black Friday's deal and sale. I'm astonished. And early this summer, while I was checking out the business, doing due diligence, they had a huge paid in full push. So normally you want to sell a membership because then you get paid once a month for as many months as you can keep a member, that's the highest value member you can have. Second best is you get a member, then they do a paid in full membership. Kind of like car insurance. If you pay it per month, you pay like $100. But if you do like a 1 year payment, if you do pay it all for 1 year instead of $1,200, it's like $1,100 or like $1,000. So you save a little bit of money if you write the check today. Similar concept, paid in full membership, and folks are buying it. Like the folks that bought it last year, they're buying it again this year. And then folks that haven't bought it before are now buying it. So it's going to screw up the monthly cash flow because some folks that were doing monthly memberships, they just wrote a check for $1,600. And so now we have like a year of revenue in one sitting. And so it's a false spike in sales because you're just pulling the revenue into today, and future months are going to look a little weaker. So we can't get too excited about it, but if you're comparing apples to apples with what they did in the middle of the summer, they did 62,000, and they pushed it hard, like every day, every session, every other day there was an organic Facebook post, and mine was a little more like personal. Like everyone got a text blast, everyone got an email, everyone heard about it after classes. So I don't think it would have been as loud or annoying in my opinion, but we did 60,000, they did 62,000. So I'm really stoked. Our membership numbers are down. Their peak member count, can't remember what their member was, but we're down about 20 or so members from peak member size. So there's been some attrition, not a whole lot of new signups. And so that's totally fine. The current game plan now is I've got the chest full of cash, revenue cash, and I'm going to put that straight back into a marketing blitz. So it's December 2nd. This next month, going to be pushing very intensely towards folks that want to do an end of year, dirt cheap December, and let's get the new year started. And we'll get you set up with a month membership because we also have a winter challenge kickstarting on January 15th. And so use December, figure out the schedules and the nuances in your schedule. And then January, we're going hard. We're going to have everyone in the studio losing weight, tracking their nutrition plans, being engaged with what they're doing, and really, really upgrading their life in 2024. 2024 is going to be a crazy year. It's going to be a lot of politics. It's going to be a lot of social craziness going on, a lot of international stuff going on. Inflation is still going to be crazy. And so if you can't control the world around you, control the world within you. And that's what we're going to be emphasizing at our studio. Control what you can put your hands around. And that's usually your nutrition, and your exercise programs. Your friends and family are kind of secondary. So that's the emphasis. We're going to get the numbers back up. We've got a lot of money to use on marketing. We know how to get the leads. We've been dabbling with the cold side of things, ironing out our sales process with cold leads off social media. And we've got the revenue surge from the current membership base. So I'm stoked about that. I'm really excited. We've got the juice in the engine to really hit it. If it was a movie, this is one of those scenes where they say, like, we're going to do the slingshot maneuver. Like, what's that? It's kind of where you hit the gas hardcore and you go straight into the blitz, and then you're going to slingshot your way out of despair into the stratosphere. And that's what the game plan is right now. And we're going to do it and crush it. Along with this, I'm seeing as well, I've been listening to the audiobook Made in America by Sam Walton. He's the founder of Walmart. Love it or hate Walmart, whatever you think about them. The story is interesting from an insider's perspective. I've always been a little bit like meh about Walmart because they kind of take over small towns for better or worse. And so I didn't want to hear what he had to say about himself and his life journey. And something that really hit me this past week, I'm on chapter 4. It's a 10-hour audiobook. It's really good. I'd recommend it whether you like it or not. But his kids said that they felt like dirt broke and they had no money, even as they had 17 Walmart stores open. I've got one studio and I feel like we're doing okay financially. If we had 5 gyms, I feel like I would have made it. I can't imagine owning 17 Walmarts and feeling like we're dirt broke. And my kids are like stressed about, not stressed, but like they don't know like if they can buy a new dress to go to the dance or if they can get a car without rust on it. Like 17 Walmarts. And so they kept saying over and over, Daddy is putting money back into the business. He's opening a new store. He's going to be buying new merchandise and testing out new display items. He kept plowing it back into the business. Now, I'm an advocate that you have to, what is it? I can't remember the book, but as a business owner, you must pay yourself along the way. Even if it's a small allowance, if it's gas money or just a small poverty level wages as a business owner, you have to pay yourself something other than zero. Otherwise, you get no positive reinforcement from what you're doing. Even if, for folks that say, like, I'm putting it back into the business, I'm going to grow it. I've heard of stories that got folks that became like 10, 20, 30, 100 millionaires, and they just kept plowing it back in. With the drop of a hat, they could lose it all. And now they're like penny pinching and couch surfing. And if you pay yourself along the way, you at least train yourself that this is a normal business. You're going to have a normal cash payment. You need to budget for you to take a salary or a withdrawal or whatever so that the business is learning how to live with you making money. If you're constantly putting it back in, all you're doing is putting it off for a rainy day check, and you're never going to have that positive reinforcement that you're doing something worthwhile and that it's worth the long hours and it's worth the headache of owning a business. So, it's just my turn. So that's something that I'm doing. I've been giving myself a salary. I think it's, I'm going to turn myself around here. There we go. I'm giving myself a small salary. I think I'm paying, what is it? I think I'm paying myself like 40 grand for one studio right now, 40 grand a year for one studio. So if we get to 5 studios, I mean, I guess that could be 200 grand. I don't know if I want to do that though. I want to have a big move to make with 5 studios besides just paying myself 200 grand. 200 grand is too small for the other ambitions on the horizon. But over and over, Walmart, kids felt broke. Dad would kept opening more stores. He kept growing. He kept going back in. He kept pursuing more. And they were comfortable. They had a nice life, but he was not cashing out way too early. And that's important. So that's my takeaway. That's something I'm learning. And it's reassuring that even with one studio, just imagine if I had 17 studios, if our kids feel like they've made it, I'm probably letting them live a little too large. I don't need to be a Walmart, but I need to have a legacy so that I can reach people on a certain level that can touch people in a certain way emotionally when it comes to what I have to offer in life and what is out there in the world. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. Learning. It's a good audiobook. I would recommend it. And we're going to rock and roll. We're going to completely destroy December with our insane marketing. And I am excited as possibly can be. It's going to be fantastic. Let's rock and roll.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.